week of Monday, September 12th through Sunday, September 18th, 2022. For this week's weekly Empowered Moments video, we're going to be using the Animal Wise Tarot by Ted Andrews for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. Just a reminder that we're now in the halfway point of the month of September. So if you haven't already watched my monthly September Empowered Moments video, please go onto my YouTube channel. You'll get an overview of the numerology of the month and what that means, the astrological highlights of the month, a message for the month from our angels and guides for the collective, and a special message card for you depending on your stone of choice. So, let's go ahead and start, before we even look at our stones of choice, let's start with an empowered moment this week. So this week we've got a few things going on, but I think the greatest and most positive things are both happening on Sunday at the end of the week. We have Mercury, the planet that rules the mental realm, our mind, our thoughts, our perceptions, and even our communications. That's going to be opposing Jupiter, and Jupiter likes to expand into the big picture. Jupiter is about abundance, prosperity, and blessings, higher learning. And the other thing happening Sunday is going to be the sun connecting in a positive aspect to Pluto. Now, the sun rules our self-identity. Of course, right now it's in Virgo. So sometimes we can get into that logical, analytical, and sometimes self-criticizing mode with ourselves. But with Pluto, and it being a positive aspect to Pluto, I think that this is going to bring a sense of empowerment, or it has that opportunity to bring us into our power, or for us to take back our power in different areas of our life. So let's go ahead and close our eyes. Relax your body, clear your mind of all thoughts. Focus on the present moment, the here and now, focusing on the sound of my voice if that helps you to ground and center. And visualize, sense, see, feel, or just know that you're surrounded in golden white light of God's source energy, Great Spirit, universe, all that is. And that golden white light energy of the universe provides protection, guidance, healing, and even messages as we move forward on our path. And let's take a deep breath, breathing that into every cell of our bodies. As we exhale, we're letting go of all that our body, mind, and soul no longer needs. And let's focus on the idea, the thought, the intention that this week we're expanding our mind. We're expanding the vision of who we feel we are and what we're here to do. We're expanding into our truth, and we're looking at things, situations, relationships from a higher perspective, a spiritual perspective, a higher understanding of what the purpose is of these circumstances that we find ourselves in now. And as we contemplate that, we call in and ask that we be empowered, taking back our power, owning our power, sitting in our power, standing in our power, moving through a death and rebirth, and transformation and regeneration, and really wholeheartedly knowing that we're an empowered being of the light. Let's breathe that in deeply into every cell of your body. And as you exhale, and in your own time, you can open your eyes and come back to this time, this place, this moment. And let's go ahead and take a look at our stones of choice for the week. Okay, so these are not special intention pendants, but they will be someday, and maybe hopefully sooner than later. I'm actually going to try to wrap these before the full moon. Well, as far as when I'm recording this video, right? I'm recording this video obviously beforehand, and we're only a couple of days from the time I'm recording this of the full moon in Pisces. But as you're watching this, the full moon in Pisces will have already happened. So hopefully these are all ready as you're watching this, going to be wrapped and ready as a special intention pendant. This is smoky quartz, and these are all a pretty good size. This smoky quartz point, and you know, when you have points, quartz points, you look at the bottom, right? If it's a point at the bottom, right, then it's a masculine energy. But this smoky quartz point has like a flat bottom. So the flat bottom quartz points are the feminine, more of that gentle feminine energy. Now, smoky quartz helps us to release unwanted emotional baggage, okay? And it helps us to surrender our old wounds, releasing them, letting them go, allowing them to be transmuted to a higher vibration. This also, smoky quartz, provides stability and grounding. Okay, all right, let's take a look at the second stone of choice. This one, they're all quartz, by the way. This one is red quartz, and actually Moroccan red quartz. I was doing a little research when I was looking up the qualities, and they were saying that a lot of red quartz is not true red quartz, that it's been treated, you know, with heat and whatnot to make it red. And they said the truest red quartz comes from Morocco, and this is actually a piece of Moroccan red quartz that I have here. So the Moroccan red quartz, it helps with forgiveness and protection. It helps with inner strength, energy, and vitality, and also with inner exploration of your spirituality. Okay, and then the last stone of choice. Okay, we're going to call this golden quartz, but of course we know it as citrine, right? Citrine is a form of quartz. It's gold and yellow in color, so I'm going to call it golden citrine quartz. And this one, you can see, has that point at the bottom. So this one has more of the masculine energy. And the golden citrine quartz helps with self-esteem, self-confidence, and strengthening the intellect or the mind. It brings mental clarity and illumination. Okay? All right. So again, we'll take another look here. We've got the smoky quartz. We've got the Moroccan red quartz and the golden citrine quartz. And this is such a beautiful, like, clear piece. Of course, it is cut and polished, right? So they've cut this in a particular shape, and but it's just so clear and vibrant. It's a very high quality piece of citrine. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about and by the way, that smoky quartz is pretty clear too, right? Nice and clear. And I want to say this about smoky quartz too. I've said something about the other ones. Smoky quartz sometimes is heat treated as well. When you get a really dark brown, almost black colored smoky quartz, it's been heat treated. When it's this very light pale color, almost, you know, that clarity of, you know, you can see my finger through it, right? So this is an untreated piece of smoky quartz. Okay, so let's talk about the astrology of the week. By the way, there's, you know, it doesn't mean that those heat-treated ones are bad necessarily. I prefer the natural ones. That's just my opinion. So on Monday the 12th, the sun, a lot of Virgo energy, of course we're in Virgo season, but the sun is in Virgo on Monday the 12th, and it's going to be in what we call an inconjunct, or some astrologers call it a quincunx connection to Saturn in Aquarius. Now, the sun is our source of light. It's our confidence, our courage, it's success, it's how we shine our light, it's our self-identity, right? It's in Virgo right now. So again, there's this analytical, logical, discerning energy. It's a mental energy, right? Because it rules the mind, Virgo. It can get caught into self-criticism or judgment or ruminating on something over and over again. I could have done that better. I should have done that different, that kind of thing. Because Virgo can be about perfection, is what we say, but it's really about self-improvement, right? Virgo always wants to improve something and make it better. So the Sun in Virgo in conjunct Saturn. Well, Saturn is the teacher of karmic lessons, right? He rules restrictions, limitations, delays, but he also rules responsibilities, being the teacher, a teacher of lessons, and being the authority, kind of being your own inner authority, real solid, real strong and rooted and grounded. Now, Saturn, though, is in the air sign, right? Saturn likes to be earthy, and it's in an air sign. The Sun normally rules Leo, so it wants to be fiery and vibrant, and it's in Earth sign Virgo. So already these two planets are not in the most comfortable of places, and then they're not in the most comfortable of connections. So we have to make some adjustments to be able to utilize them in the most positive way. So let's use strategy with Virgo. Let's use discernment and making sure that we're making good choices for ourselves. Let's use self-improvement instead of the idea of perfection or lack of perfection, right? So we want to use those positive keywords, and we want to merge them with the positive of what Saturn in Aquarius can be about, which can be about focusing on the manifestation of the mind, or even better, restructuring the mind or restructuring our ideas, because again, it's in Aquarius, and Aquarius is a sign that rules the mental realm and thoughts and ideas. But Saturn can kind of put in this limiting sort of negative effect where it brings up lessons, but let's do the positive where Saturn is restructuring something. It's restructuring how we're thinking and how we're perceiving our future to be, because Aquarius is very future oriented. So even though Virgo is earth and Aquarius is air, they both kind of have a connection in some way to the mental realm. So let's combine forces, the most positive of the Sun in Virgo and the most positive of Saturn in Aquarius, which can be, again, restructuring and manifestation and really grounding into a certain project or mindset or whatever it is that you're working on, especially when it comes to co-creating with other people of like mind. And then yet let's use the strategy, the logic, the discernment of Virgo and make something happen. Start to kind of manifest what it is that you desire, but it's a step-by-step thing here with this energy. It's more like a step-by-step. What's the next small step that I can take? Because Virgo wants to look at the details. So what's the next small step I can take to restructure what I'm working on? And that restructuring might be that you're working on yourself too. And then to bring about some sort of positive manifested energy that brings my mind into more of a positive and balanced space. Now we're going to run all the way to Friday because Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, there's no major aspects. It's just the moon moving through the different signs of the zodiac. On Friday the 16th, we've got two things happening. One is that Venus in Virgo, because Venus is also in Virgo, is challenging or in a square aspect to Mars in Gemini. So let's break that down. Venus rules love and relationships, money and finances, personal resources, which is like money and finances, but also time and assistance from other people, etc. It also rules values and how we value ourselves, and it's in Virgo right now. So again, it can have that critical, judgmental, and sometimes Virgo gets caught in a negative mind loop kind of energy. Virgo's not real happy in Virgo. She can be a little bit more critical in relationships, and although she can be more discerning in relationships. And as far as money and finances, she can organize and make a plan and write things down and look at the ins and outs of her finances. So that can be a positive too. But Venus in Virgo is challenging Mars, the planet of energy, action, forward movement. Let's make it happen. Let's go. Let's move fast. In Gemini, which is not a grounded sign. Gemini rules the mental realm as well. It's an air sign, so it's kind of vacillating and all over the place and bounces around. And Virgo also is a mutable sign. So Virgo is mutable, Gemini is mutable. That's where these planets are, and they're challenging one another. So mutable means changeable. Mutable means it's not focused and not grounded. The energy is all over the place. And these are the two lovers, aren't they, right? Venus rules the feminine, Mars rules the masculine. Venus and Mars are the lovers. And so there could be something going on in relationships. I would say that communication might be a little challenging because it's that connection by a square, which is a challenge. I would say that the communications or even your own thoughts are kind of bouncing all around and back and forth. And there's no real kind of focus or groundedness here right now. Also on Friday the 16th is the Sun in Virgo opposing Neptune. Now, Sun in Virgo is very detailed, logical, analytical, real. Let's get realistic here. Neptune in Pisces is dreamy and fantasy-like and escapist, and it's great for the imagination, and it's great for intuition, and it's great for connecting to the spiritual realms, but not so good with the practical reality of everyday life, which is the Sun in Virgo. Now, they're opposing one another, so we have to find a balance, right? When two planets are opposite one another, we need to find a balance of the two. So we're balancing logic and intuition. We're balancing making a plan and having a strategy with going with the flow and surrendering to the divine and how everything unfolds. So that can also, again, be a positive, potentially. On Saturday, the 17th, now this can, for some of you, depending on where in the world you live, you can start feeling this on Friday, the 16th as well, but very early Saturday, the 17th here in the United States. And so later on in like Europe and then in Australia, we have Venus in Virgo and an inconjunct with Chiron, the wounded healer. So again, Venus is in, that logical, analytical, detailed Virgo, where she can really be looking at the little nuances of life and within herself, and nitpicking in relationships, or really using discernment in relationships or other situations. The inconjunct to Chiron, it's about healing, right? Chiron is the wounded healer, so it might bring up some wounds in regards to how we value ourselves or what we think about ourselves. And as it's bringing up the wounds, it also, though, has to provide an opportunity to heal some of them. But because it's an inconjunct, it might be a little tricky to merge these two energies, because Virgo is earth, very grounded and practical. And where Chiron is in Aries is fire and passion and, movement. And so we have to kind of combine earth and fire together somehow. We have to combine this kind of grounded, focused, practical aspect of self-healing, or focusing on self-value, or focusing on, in an orderly, detailed manner, our finances and our money matters, or using discernment in our relationships. But we have to merge this somehow with these wounds of self-identity, self-confidence, independence that Chiron in Aries is bringing up. Okay, also on Saturday is Mars in Gemini, and it's in a sextile, which is a positive aspect to Chiron. So this is the same day that Venus is challenging Chiron. Mars in Gemini is sextile Chiron, which provides an opportunity for forward movement. And how can we get that opportunity for positive forward movement here and bring some healing, some Chiron healing? It's through Mars in Gemini. It's putting energy towards new thoughts, because Gemini rules thoughts, ideas, perceptions. So putting new energy, focusing new energy in a positive way to shift your thoughts, to shift your way of thinking. And this can provide some healing. And then on Sunday the 18th, we have Mercury in Libra opposing Jupiter in Aries. So again, we have an opposition going on where these two have to find a balance point, right? Now, interesting is that Mercury, ruler of the mind, thoughts, perceptions, ideas, communication, is in partnership, relationship-oriented Libra and is retrograde right now. So we're redoing, reanalyzing, reevaluating communications in relationships, or our thoughts and ideas and perceptions about relationships. Now, this is all kinds of relationships. Jupiter, which is in Aries, which is the opposite sign of Libra, is also retrograde. So we're going within to understand our higher perspective and our belief systems, because that's what Jupiter rules. So what are your belief systems about equality, compromise, mutual support, and empowerment in the relationships that you're experiencing? What are your beliefs? What are your perceptions? Can you shift your perception? Can you look at things from a higher spiritual vantage point and understand what the higher spiritual lesson is? Can we do Mercury in Libra and communicate and share our thoughts with the other person in a diplomatic, harmonious way like Libra likes to do? So that's going on Sunday. The other thing happening on Sunday is that Sun in Virgo in a positive trine aspect to Pluto in Capricorn. We did this in our empowered moments, right? Where we focused on stepping into our power, reclaiming our power, owning our power, and just really empowering ourselves. And so where are we going to empower ourselves? In the Virgo energy, where the Sun is. So Virgo is, again, it rules that mental thought processes, okay? It's not an air sign, and all the air signs rule the mental realm. And even though Virgo is an earth sign ruling the practical, grounded, day-to-day details of life, it still rules these analytical, logical thought processes and the use of discernment and picking through things and trying to understand things logically. So we're empowering our mind, we're empowering our thoughts, we're empowering our perceptions, okay? And also, because Virgo rules health in astrology, maybe we're empowering ourselves in the area of health matters as well. All right, so that's a little bit about what's going on astrologically. Let's go ahead and jump into the message on the collective level from the Animal Wise Tarot. So the first card came out as 2, and then we have 2 more after that, so a total of 4 cards. The very first card, interestingly enough, is the Moon. This is Major Arcana number 18. This is, of course, the Animal Tarot deck, so it's the wolf, right? And the wolves are pack animals, but they're also loner animals, right? So you think of the moon, you think of our emotions, our intuitions, our subconscious nature. You think of the wolf and you think, I have to do this kind of self-reflection going within myself, for myself, by myself, understand myself on a deep emotional level, kind of clear out old subconscious patterns. But again, wolves also travel in kind of family packs. And so there might be something on a subconscious level going on with home and family matters. But also it's a time where, again, we need to really take time by ourselves and maybe do some meditation, some soul searching on what's going on for us. What are the lessons in whatever's going on outside of us? What are the lessons for us? Now, the message at the bottom says intuitive guidance and guardianship. Of course, the moon is heightened intuition. And we just came off of a full moon in Pisces, right? The full moon in Pisces was this past Saturday. So the full moon energies, especially because it's Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, which packs a little bit more of a powerful punch because it's a sign of completion. It's completion energy. It's the last sign, completion of something, the end of something, releasing, letting go, purging. So not surprising that we see the moon card this week because those full moon energies are still very active. So pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your visions, your meditations, your intuitions, messages you're receiving from your angels and guides. And again, kind of do a little bit of inward self-reflection. Now let's look at the card that came out with the moon for added information. Okay, so we've got the Eight of Cups. So it is an emotional card, right? The Eight of Cups. They're called shapeshifters. And of course, I didn't grab my water. Okay. So sorry. It must be dry or something here. Okay. The Eight of Cups, the Eight of Shapeshifters. Okay. In this deck, it's the ant, which is kind of interesting, right? And the ant says searching and working for the greater good. So ants, again, they kind of run in a family, in a colony, right? There's always like lots of ants working together, building their little homes and mounds of sand and dirt and gathering, food pieces for everybody. And so we're working together for the greater good here. Now, the number 8 is about empowerment, interestingly enough, right? Number 8 can be about money, finances, career, authority issues or authority figures, or owning our own authority. It's also about spiritual empowerment and or power and control energies or disempowerment. Because it's the cups, the suit of cups, we're talking about disempowering emotions and feelings, or a lack of owning our power in the emotional body. It can bring in some real life situations. And I say that because the number 8 is very, in numerology, the number 8 really is about manifested life events, sort of like the career, work, family, money, finances, it's those basic life events. So this can again be power and control energies within the home and family, or that we're feeling a lack of feeling financially secure. We're looking for something better. We're looking for more. This is what this card traditionally means. The Eight of Cups is like we're searching for something more, something better. But now this is on an emotional level. And a lot of times it does pertain to relationships where I'm looking for something more, not that, let's say in relationships, not that the other person isn't a great person, but it's just not fulfilling you. There's a lack of feeling fulfilled for some reason. And in the traditional Eight of Cups, you usually see like a person, a woman walking away from all these cups that have fallen over and turned over, and her back is to the cup. She's walking away and leaving like the situation behind her and getting ready to cross a bridge into something new, into something more empowering. So I think that, since it come out with the moon card, right? This is an emotional card. This is an emotional card. We're really, again, needing to listen to our inner intuition and do some soul searching on whether you're leaving behind an old pattern, right? This can just be about leaving behind old subconscious patterns or trauma energies from this or previous lifetimes, where you're doing a lot of healing and you're empowering yourself. Or it can be situational, where you're needing to take back your power within a situation or a relationship on some level. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the next card here. We got the Page of Winged Ones, the crow. I love crows. Okay, I know a lot of people don't like crows, but in Celtic astrology, the month that I was born, the time that I was born in the year, in Celtic astrology is ruled by the crow, or it's actually the raven, right? And the raven and the crow are in the same family. So I've always really liked crows. But the Page of Winged Ones, or the Page of Air, or Page of Swords, it's really talking about messages coming in and communication happening. The pages are the messengers in the tarot. And especially in the suit of swords or air or winged ones, which is all about thoughts, ideas, perceptions, and communications, this is really kind of almost doubling that. It's like listen to the information that's coming to you from other people, from news articles or blogs that you read, through posts on Facebook. This is kind of like the written and spoken word more so than it is intuitive, although you can also listen to and bring in messages from your angels and guides in the universe. But that would be, to me, more like fire or wands, or the cups, which is water. This is more the sword. So to me, it's like practical, intellectual, everyday knowledge from everyday people and everyday places that's coming in. And it says unexpected magic and energy, right? Crows are considered the messengers of magic. So look for some of these messages, emails, phone calls, video conferencing, conversations with people in your life. Look for the unexpected magic. Look for the aha moments. Look for the higher insights that come through these communications and these messages. Okay? And again, since we're following up from the moon and the Eight of Cups, again, you're feeling self-reflective, maybe disempowered. You want something more out of life, something better. You're looking to feel better. You want a situation that feels better to you, is better for you experientially. Now there's messages coming in. It might be through talking with somebody. It might be through, again, reading or other forms of communication. So pay attention. Okay, let's look at the last card. Okay, the last card is the Six of Four-Leggeds. This is like the Six of Earth or the Six of Pentacles, which is actually a very good card, which, we're ending the week on Sunday with what I think are two really good aspects there, with Mercury opposing Jupiter, messages, higher learning, higher perspective, higher wisdom and knowledge, and the Sun connecting by trine to Pluto, empowerment. So it actually says at the bottom, reclaiming power and fruits of labor. And this is the jaguar. I love the cat family, all the cat family. So reclaiming your power, right? The number 6, as above, so below. The number 6, paying attention to your inner world and your outer world in a equal and balanced way. The traditional Six of Pentacles is often about abundance, prosperity, and blessings, a lot of times materially and financially. Although remember that abundance, prosperity, and blessings can come in other ways as well. So just look for the blessings. And the jaguar, to me, again, especially this jaguar cat family, very powerful, right? Powerful creatures, powerful animals. So that reclaiming of power, it's time to take back your power here. And again, to look for the blessings. So maybe having an empowering communication and speaking your truth, since it was followed by that page of winged ones, right? And look also for some of those messages and insights and communications to bring the fruits of labor, the abundance, the prosperity, and the blessings in various forms. Okay, it's like the answer, like you're putting out an idea, a question, an intention sort of to the universe, and somehow you're going to receive an answer that's going to give you what you need. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the special message depending on your stone of choice. I wish I was better with technology. I'd cut out my little coughing spell. But I'm too afraid to try to mess around and play with it. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at special message for the smoky quartz people. If you chose smoky quartz, your special message for the week. Oh, this one's sticking up, calling my attention. The stag, trust and thrive. Trust and thrive. So the stag, very earthy. This to me is like the wisdom of nature. It's like the wisdom of the pagan religion. It's like pay attention to nature and the signs of nature. Pay attention to the animal totems, the trees, the fairy realm, the grass. I mean, the herbal medicine. I mean, this is like trust, right? It's like the stag in ancient stories, Celtic stories and whatnot, would I kind of have this vision of the stag walking through the woods, and there's this big thick fog, and it's this kind of Celtic scene or whatever, and a person's walking down the path, and all of a sudden through the fog they see the stag just standing there, confident, strong, protected, secure, grounded, just kind of staring at them, just staring, just standing there, trusting, right? The stag doesn't like turn and run away. Well, not in the story that I'm talking about, but they stand there in trust and faith that they're giving you the message that you need to hear, and they're trusting that you're not going to harm them, and they're thriving, right? So trust the universe, trust the messages, trust yourselves, and empower yourselves, and then go forward and thrive, strong, confident, grounded, with protection, like the stag. And these antlers, by the way, claircognizance. The antlers, usually antlers on an animal, it's like that opening of the crown chakra to receive the higher wisdom and truth from the divine, okay? And his ears are pretty big too, so clairaudience as well. Claircognizance, clairaudience, hearing messages clearly, and knowing messages clearly are two of those messages from the stag. All right, put that back in the deck. The Moroccan red quartz people. All right, let's give that a little shuffle. Special message for those of you that chose the Moroccan red quartz. And you know what? The one on the bottom felt like it wanted to come out. We got the air guardian, okay? So Saturn is an air sign, Aquarius. Mars is an air sign, Gemini. Mercury is an air sign, Libra. So we've got all the air signs covered this week with different planets. And the air guardian says, shift your perception. So we did talk about that with Mercury opposing Jupiter. Shift your perception, shift your perspective. Look at things from a different point, someone else's point of view. Maybe, try to put yourself in their shoes and see things from their perspective. Or look at the higher perspective and see what the universe is trying to tell you about a situation, a relationship, an event. Why is this happening from that higher perspective? So whether it's another person's perspective or a higher universal perspective, this is what the energy is, or the message is for you this week. Now, because this is the air guardian, also pay attention to thoughts, ideas, messages, communications in all forms this week. She also has quite the headdress on, right? So again, claircognizance, it's like, to me, that's highlighted with this crown that she's wearing on her head. Her hair is flowing back kind of in the wind, right? Which can also, and it's kind of up, like the wind is kind of brushing the hair up. So again, it's like that connection to the divine, that connection to spirit, and receiving messages of a higher nature, opening up to hear that claircognizance, right? Claircognizance, by the way, is just knowing something to be true. It's like a knowing and a higher understanding that just kind of downloads or pops into your mind, right? The aha moment, or the idea that just kind of pops into your head. She's also got this pretty nice size necklace around her throat chakra, and air does rule communication. So speaking your truth is also indicated this week. You need to speak your truth. And isn't it interesting that she's got like a black wing? She's an air guardian, and the black hair and the black wing, but the rest of her is, to me, like shining in light, or light filled. Doesn't mean there's darkness, but there is some shadow energy here. So I feel like the communication, or the perceptions, or the thought processes, whatever's going on that mental realm, air level, don't shy away from looking at the shadow side, or don't shy away from communicating about the shadow side with other people. Sometimes it needs to be brought into the light so that the light can transmute it, okay? All right, for those of you that chose the golden citrine quartz, special message for golden citrine quartz people. Okay, this one in the middle, well, kind of a little in the middle, is calling my attention. Traveler. Okay, traveler. And it says, move in a new direction. Well, that's a pretty clear-cut answer. Move in a new direction. There's a compass up there, okay? So this divine compass, it's like, you know, I always hear that phrase in the spiritual world these days of facing your true north, right? What does that mean? Facing your true north, facing in the true destiny direction that you were meant to face in. If you're in a situation, a circumstance, a mindset, a belief system that doesn't feel good to you, it weighs you down, it feels heavy, then you're not facing and walking your true north. And so this compass and this traveler, she's getting ready to go into that new direction. And again, it quite clearly states, move in a new direction. And red, right, is the color of the root chakra. It's about safety, security. It can be about financial security. It can be about feeling grounded or focused or having a clear plan or strategy or idea, right? That's about that focused groundedness. I feel like know that you're going to be protected and guided. Know that you're going to be safe and secure. Know that if you follow your true north, you're going to get assistance either from other people or from the divine. You can ask for sure. In fact, you should ask the universe and your angels and guides to provide you with people or circumstances or places or information or messages that will help you walk your true north, that will help you to move in the right direction for you. But she's got her bag. She's got her bag over her shoulder. She's carrying it, so she's ready. She's ready to go. Okay? And she looks happy about it, right? She doesn't look nervous or scared or whatever. She's got a pretty calm and positive kind of look, like I'm ready to move into this new direction, I'm ready for something new, and I feel good about the potential of the change that it's going to bring me. Okay? All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to the weekly Empowered Moments. Sending you all lots of love and light and magical healing energy as we take the next step on our paths. Namaste, everyone.